Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bubblegum Reviews. My name is Steve and today I will be reviewing Sherlock Holmes, The Game of Shadows. So I've seen this movie about 3 times and I like it just as much as the first, if not a little more. But my review is pretty much tied with the first one just because there was a few things that I didn't particularly care for, but still, it is a very, very fun movie. It really is. So first off, Sauron shows up in this. The guy who voices him, Sala Baker, he's in the very beginning as one of the thugs. Uh, he has like a full beard. He's got like a Mr. Peanut top hat, and he's a big guy. He's a really big guy. I know he's not in it for long, but he is in it, and it's just cool to see him in this. The action scenes in this are great. They really are. There's a lot of it, and it's a lot of fun. The train scene is hilarious and probably my favorite scene in this movie. So there's a few other scenes that are in this that I really enjoy, and I'm going to kind of tell you about those and the spoiler at the end. Robert Downey Jr. does not disappoint in this movie. No, he does not, and I think I like him in this one better than I did in the first. The backtracking in this movie is really cool. It really is. And that's the pretty much what I'm saying is like the parts where uh, it'll show like a very important part of the case or a fight scene that happened and you're wondering how it happened. It backtracks to what led up to this fight and whatnot. It's really cool. And not a lot of movies do that anymore. And it's really cool to see it. The slow motion fights on certain scenes is also really amazing. Um, that's the one thing that when I first saw the very first one, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I really like how he like counters it in his head what the attacker's plan is, and he has a almost his defense already ready for it and everything. That was really cool to see. Let's see. Also, the cinematography in this movie is on on cue, man. Awesome, especially the scene in the trees when they're running from the bad guys. That was really cool. Let's see. The chess match fight was really good, but it was also kind of one of my least favorite parts of the movie due to the fact that Moriarty could have killed Holmes in a certain spot where Holmes was laying on the ledge on his back and Moriarty hit him on like the neck or the chest, and all he could have done was just kind of pushed him over the ledge and it would have pretty much been over. But instead they keep fighting and such and so on and so forth. Yeah. So other than that, let's go ahead and get right into the old ratings and whatnot. Guy Ritchie, who did the first one, did this one, and like I said before, I've never really been a huge Guy Ritchie fan, but this movie was pretty awesome. It really was. Rock and Rolla. I haven't seen that in a while. I'm going to give it another shot. I do want to see The Gentleman, which he did. IMDb gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 59%. I give it a 9 out of 10. Like I said, I gave the first one a 9 out of 10, and I feel like they're both neck and neck with each other. This one might have the edge, but for now, we're just going with a tie. Box office of 545.4 million on a budget of 125 million, so it made some nice money in the old box office. The interesting fact on this is the dance between Jude Law and Noomi Rapace. I know I'm probably not saying her name exactly right, but I don't have the accent she does when she says it. At the gypsy camp was 15 seconds on screen and it took 3 days to shoot it. Which that was a cool little scene in there. That really was. This movie's got a lot of good stuff in it, man. It really does. So spoiler alerts, guys. Spoiler alerts. Here we go. So my favorite scene in this movie is the train scene. There is so much that happens on that train scene that is so much fun. First off, Robert Downey Jr. dresses up in women's clothing and surprises the hell out of Jude Law. And the one of my favorite like lines in the movie is Watson's like, "What are we waiting for?" Or what are we doing down here? And Holmes is like, "We are waiting. I am smoking." And they're just laying on the ground. And then the other part where he pushes Watson's wife out of the train, and Watson has no idea as he's sitting there like blasting the gun at the guys, and all of a sudden he turns around and is like looking like, "Where's his wife?" That train scene, man, it was so much fun. Another scene that was really good was the little fight between Watson and Moran, where Moran's in the tower up above, and Watson's just kind of down here doing a little cat mouse thing, hiding from him. All of a sudden, he finds this humongous gun and gets the upper hand on Moran. That was another good one. Let's see, what was the last one? The last one was part of the reason I do like the movie, and part of the main reason for not really caring for this movie. I shouldn't say not caring for it, but the main reason I gave it a 9 instead of a 10. So in the trees, the slow motion scenes in this were great, but the fact that they were shooting hand pistols at Watson and Holmes and the other people and were blowing like ginormous chunks out of the trees, I couldn't get on board with that. Because I'm pretty sure if you go outside with a handgun you have today, unless it's like a total extreme, just like cannon in your hand, it's not going to blow a chunk out of the tree like that was doing. So maybe their bullets are made better or something else. I don't know, but I just don't see that happening in real life. But then when they pull down that humongous thing where they're cranking it down and they shoot the huge like cannonball things, now that was more realistic because that thing was just chopping down trees. And I mean the cannon size makes sense. But also, spoiler, I guess, I mean, I'm sure everybody that's seen the first two knows about number three. And oh, yeah. And the ending to this movie was great, too. Number two, where Holmes is in the house at the very end after the fight with Moriarty, and he shows up and he's hiding somewhere, and he gets up and he types "the end?" question mark. Oh, man. I can't wait for the third one. Like I said, it's a different director, but I still have high hopes for it, and I really hope it delivers, man. All right, and so that is all for this review. You guys have a good day. Like and subscribe to my page. My next up review will be, I don't have a copy of the movie, but it's Radioland Murders. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next time. And don't forget to check out my Letterboxd. All right.